Hi folks, Doc Jake from Sioux Nation Ag Center here. It's that time of year again where we get to work all these calves as they're coming off grass or preconditioning them before we wean them. 437, you've done really well this year, heifer. So now as we're working these calves, we know we want to be efficient with the amount of time it takes to work them, but at the same time, we want to give these shots in a manner that's safe for us and BQA appropriate. So how do we do that? So to start off with, we've got to understand what beef quality assurance is, or the BQA program as we commonly call it. This program was started back in the 80s to deal with some meat problems that were coming up in cattle that were being harvested. It's been expanded to a lot of different factions now, which include things like cattle handling and food safety as well. Well, I forgot to put her number down. She was 435 pounds. So although we've added more aspects to beef quality assurance, the goal still remains the same. We want to provide a safe food supply for customers of all stripes, be they at restaurants or at home and food service. And to do that, one of the big keys when we are working these calves in the fall is how we're giving these vaccines. Now I've been doing this repetitively here, and you'll kind of notice that maybe some things are a little different than what you learned about for BQA in the past. So with these vaccinations, you can see I'm using a very short needle. This is 5/8 of an inch. The reason why I want that short needle is I want to give these shots subcutaneously, because that's what we're labeled for. So now, as opposed to tenting the skin like you may have been told to do in the past, what I recommend instead is to come in at a good angle with a sharp needle and give that vaccine. The reason for this is if we put our hand too close to the calf while we're giving that vaccine, we've got that needle pointed towards our hand, and that's a pretty big safety issue. Needle sticks, they're not fun. So obviously we're going to work enough calves that we're going to have to reload the syringe. In order to be BQA compliant, what I recommend is when you reload the syringe, get rid of that old needle. You may think, well, you're going to go through a lot of needles if you got to work 200 calves. And yeah, you will go through a lot of needles doing that. But needles are cheap. And what's not cheap are lumps on the calves. You see, as that needle gets used, it gets more and more dull. So if we replace the needle, when we refill, it's easy to remember to do, and we'll have that sharper needle, cleaner needle, and have less opportunity to have lumps on our calves. Okay then. Come on, girl. Now, in addition to clean needles, we also want to try to spread these shots out as much as possible. You can see I'm giving 2 vaccines. I'm going to give one on this side of the calf, and I'm going to come over here and give the other one on the other side of the calf. By spreading them out, we're spreading out the amount of antigen on either side, or as far as we can, as well as we're also spreading out the amount of damage that is caused by the injection, because every injection does leave a little bit of muscle damage, no matter how good of a job you do. The difference is if you do a better job, it leaves a lot less damage than if you do a crummy job. Now, in addition to how we give vaccines, it's important that we run these cattle through the chute in a low-stress manner. Now, low stress doesn't simply mean that we just be lackadaisical. It means that we have a plan and a system for what we're doing to move these cattle through. So with appropriate low-stress cattle handling, we don't do a lot of yelling, shouting, waving our arms in the air, and anything of that nature. The big thing is we use our position relative to the animal to help the animal move in the correct direction.
So you mean, Doc, you don't want me to do things to rile them up like, things like that?
Yeah, don't do that.
Oh, okay.
Now with low-stress cattle handling, there's a lot of things that can be said based on how your body position is, how you conduct yourself around the animal. It's almost like having a conversation with that calf. But a big key that you'll notice, if you're doing your low-stress cattle handling right, they'll step out of the chute the way that calf did. No jumping, no running, just stepping and walking away, on with their merry little life, to leave a life of fulfillment and grass and corn because he's a steer, because he's going to go to the feed yard and be delicious. But that's not important right now. Now there's a lot more I could say about beef quality assurance. However, this is our last calf, so we're done for the day. But that being said, if you would like to learn more about BQA or become BQA certified, feel free to reach out to either a BQA certified trainer or to go online and look at the BQA website. The whole certification process for cow-calf producers, stockers, and feed yard guys can occur online. So with that, you take care, my friends. So now that BQA has progressed into the 21st century, it's the same thing, just more modern. That'll be a blooper. Come on, calf. I believe in you. And I believe in the things you do. And you can do this. You just gotta have faith. Boom! I'm so proud of you. You've done a good job today.
So Doc, you mean don't be doing stuff like this? Like that?
No, not like that.
Are we good?
Oh, I think we need more takes than that.
That's probably enough to get me fired.